the dating scene in our generation is already hard enough, but
Right.
social media makes it that much harder because they see people and their couples pictures and they're like, oh, for my birthday he got me this, or we're
Right.
doing that, and we're going on a vacation. Like literally, people our age going on trips to Dubai, and people see that and they're like,
Right.
I wonder if my boyfriend or I wonder if my girlfriend is gonna take me on a trip. And it's like these expectations, like bro, like you know what I'm saying? Like this, there's just
Social media is not reality. What is up? What is up, my podcast people, man? Welcome back to Chronicles. Man, I don't know what episode this is. I know I missed you all last week. I might have a special surprise for you all. You might be seeing this episode Tuesday. I might have got a personal episode for you all before that, but we will resume Sunday episodes next week. But as you can see, I got a special guest here, Mr. Cameron Brown, also known as I Am Breezy. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
what's good, YouTube. It's been a minute, but I've been trying to stay true to the grind, you know. Um, as my brother said, Cameron. My name is also Cameron, oddly
Yeah.
enough. Um, I am currently a senior at the university at Northern Illinois University. I'll get it right.
Right.
Um, my major is journalism, but I also double minor in marketing as well as professional communications.
Man.
Um, yeah, in my spare time, I don't really do a whole lot. I work out as often as I can, especially like with, being in COVID. Um, I produce music religiously. I'm always consuming some type of musical content, always trying to figure out how to, manipulate sounds and create melodies. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, other than that, I go to work. Just working some little basic summer job right now, just nothing major. I'm really trying to get this YouTube off the ground for my
Man,
music
I feel
channel.
that.
But yeah, man,
I feel
that's
that.
pretty much the gist of it.
Man, yeah, a lot to unpack there. I think, we'll delve into your music first, but I know you kind of walk me through that process, the beginning of like when you started beats, when you kind of got interested in music. I think it kind of caught me off guard, for the viewers, I've known Cam for a long time. He is another church friend that I've known pretty much since, when we were really young. But that kind of threw me for a surprise when you started making beats. I didn't know you were that interested in music. So kind of take me through that process of you going from being interested, what got you interested, and then all the way to where you are now.
Oh man, you done took me back to when I'm 21 now, so you taking me back to when I was like 15.
Yeah,
Um,
5, 6 years ago.
funny enough, um, you actually showed me the app that really started like tweaking my interest a little bit. You remember
So
B-Wave?
that was the start, really.
That was the
Like,
very beginning, bro.
wow.
Like, that's what kicked it all off.
All right, man. When you
Um,
become famous, you gotta you gotta give me the crest, man.
yeah, man.
Cameron Collins started me off on Beat Wave, bro.
Yeah, man, definitely, absolutely.
That's funny. That is
Gotta
hilarious.
pay homage to the
Right.
to where it all began for sure. But yeah, man, B Wave that was like the elementary. This is how you create a melody. This is how you
Hmm.
um, construct a song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, yeah, that's what really got me started. It was limited, of course, because I'm, of course, creating beats from, within the power of an app.
Right.
And the stuff that I use now is way significantly more powerful, more efficient.
Of
But
course. Yeah.
I only had a couple of different, maybe a couple hundred different sounds and stuff that I could use to manipulate.
Hmm.
But yeah, long story short, that's how it got started. That's where
Gosh.
the passion began to develop. Just figuring out, and I actually made my first album on there. I remember my very first
I do
album
remember that. I do remember
on
that.
B-Wave. I deleted it, of course. I don't have it now, but
Right, yeah. I remember
yeah, I
listening
was
to it though. I remember listening to it.
yeah, yeah, it
That's
was it was
funny.
it was it was alright. Like it wasn't
It was
anywhere
definitely
close to what
alright.
I have now. But yeah, man, it was that's what kicked it off. And then
Wow.
I took a break for about a year and a half, 2 years when I was playing football in high school.
Mhm.
Um, then I picked it back up in the beginning of college, my freshman and sophomore year. Then I took a small break in between, like for like a couple months or something.
Right.
And then now I'm pretty much where I'm at now. Like junior and going into my senior year, I've been I've been grinding, like trying to get as good as I possibly can.
Yeah,
And
same.
because
Same.
yeah, man, I've witnessed the the results of what building a music YouTube channel can yield for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like the future, at least I think for me, is extremely bright for what I
Mhm.
do because like just within the different genres of music that I make, I know for a fact that assuming that things go how they should go and I'm able to market my channel correctly,
Mhm.
I'm definitely going to be able to live just off of YouTube, 100% for sure.
Bro,
So
oh my g just hearing you say that is like it's crazy because there's not a lot of people that number one really know what YouTube can yield. Like that
yeah,
is it's like it's one extreme or the other. It's
mhm.
the top person that's making $50 billion off of YouTube, or
Yeah,
it's the guy that's been trying for 7 years and they haven't made any money. Like that's what people think YouTube is. And they're like, there's no chance of you being that guy, and there's 100% chance of you being the guy that's not doing anything, right? And
yeah,
so to hear that that you believe that and that's what you want, you know, is definitely inspiring to me. Because it's like I can watch as many YouTube videos as possible, but to hear that from a friend, to hear that from someone that I know that's trying to do the same thing in terms of growing on the same platform, um,
mhm,
is man, it speaks wonders. Um, I
yeah,
didn't really know that beat wave, I've joked about it before. I didn't really know that was the inspiration, or like
yeah,
when you began to kind of get interested in it. I think, for context for the audience, that um that app was something I had just downloaded on my phone and I had started making beats on it, and I think that was 2015, 2016. Can't remember when it was, but I I am really fond of music. Music is a big part of my life. I play instruments all throughout my life. For those that don't know already, if you watched the first episode, you would know that. But I was interested in making beats. I had just seen like somebody on like a beat machine, and I was like, "Yo, I could probably do this because I'm interested in music." And I started with that little app, and I remember showing it to you. But it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't for me in terms of like I could hear the music that I wanted to create, but I would have had to really hone the craft of creating it, and I didn't enjoy that process. Like, I wanted to tell people like, I wanted the job of telling people, "Oh, this would sound great. Make it happen." That's why I love giving feedback on your albums. Like, I'm like, "Yo, this sounds great. This will make it better." Like, because I can hear it, I just can't create it. So, I've definitely seen the growth, especially from Beat Wave Wall to now, but just in the last year, with the albums and EPs you've put out. Definitely some good stuff. Now you have what kinda, social media are you, utilizing for all of that? Like, what different platforms are you using?
um, so to promote, well, I might as well, I'll name them. I'll start off by naming them all.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
use Instagram.
Mhm.
I use Twitter to a lesser extent. I need to use Twitter more.
Yeah, same
I
here.
utilize SoundCloud, of course, because that's where,
Right.
that's like the underground music,
Underground, yep.
where people are starting to really truly grow.
Mhm.
I utilize Snapchat, I guess, like of course, like if I'm making an announcement on like an album or a
Right.
single or just a beat, like I'll be like, "Hey, go listen to this. I
Mhm.
posted it now, whatever, whatever." Or mixtape coming out in a couple weeks, and then I'll try my absolute best to try to, meet the deadline.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I use those the most. And one of the things that I'm learning is it's difficult, like trying to use those platforms to market um my music only because, well, number one, I'm not one person. I can only market so much. I can only reach so many people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I hear that.
The other thing is that I find I find difficulty trying to, um, I guess, differentiate between me marketing or promoting my beats for YouTube and
Mhm.
like my official music, like stuff that I'm
Right.
singing on, things that are like actual projects.
Right, 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 right.
Mixtapes are a bit of a gray area because they're a mixture of both. Like it's no
Mhm.
words or anything, but um the mixtapes, like when they drop, I actually had to drop my third one. It's on YouTube, but I haven't dropped it anywhere else yet. But
Gotcha.
yeah, like dropping mixtapes, like of course those are gonna be on YouTube. There are no lyrics, no anything like that. It's just sound stimulation. That's what I like to call it.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's hard.
Hmm.
I understand why big artists have labels because it's like they take care of so much for you, but I don't want to sign a label. Like if I was to get to that level, I wouldn't sign because it's just like, you know, they, as your uncle will tell me all the time, the music industry is a dirty game, and people will definitely try to get over on you, especially if they
Right.
realize that like you could like bring in some serious cash. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find like the happy medium,
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
just I want
that's
to be heard, I want to be heard, but I also like don't particularly want to like overextend and like get too down and dirty into the industry, if that makes sense.
right. Right. Yeah, you don't wanna be signing your life away, you know? It's like
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
that's, um that's rough, man. I don't really, I don't know a whole bunch about the music industry. I've been learning through, friends that I have and also, my uncle, um, you know, uh, as well. But I just find it tough, man. I like you were saying, I find it tough to find that balance and if the it's a tough battle if the labels are the ones dominating and getting everybody's stuff out and you don't want to go to them because you don't want to get screwed over. Then it's like, what is your avenue? Then your avenue is purely social media, and that's why you see a lot of people on the social media wave as long as as well as you. um so
Yeah.
yeah, I sincerely hope that works out for you, and hopefully I'll learn more about it as your journey goes on, and other friends that I have, their journey goes on in the music industry, and then I'm able to kind of just see what happens, and what path you all choose. Um,
Yeah.
but I think yeah, I think I definitely think you've been killing it with the social media in terms of like posting across all platforms. I always see you make an announcement for posting across all platforms. So that is something that I feel that you've done way better than me in terms of like I'm kind of like I focus on uh one like platform at a time. And like if I'm doing a YouTube, I'm doing a YouTube, it's
Yeah.
hard to, and even if it's recycled content, you got to clip up that content to make sure it looks good on the other platform. I could just copy and paste, but it's like I want to make sure that it's actual is either looks new or it is, new content for those other platforms. So you're
Yeah.
getting, the full depth of who I am as a content creator. But yeah, circling back to what you said about school. So you said you're a senior at NIU, um, and I can't remember exactly what you said you were double majoring in, but walk us through your thoughts on what's next for you in terms of school. Are you, I know you had mentioned to me personally that you were planning to go back to school after coming out this 4 year, getting your bachelor's degree. Is that still something you plan on doing? Do you plan on doing law still? Where's your head at?
Um, I think currently my mind is still so fixated on music, but I'll just give you like a full update, I guess.
Mhm.
Law is no longer on the table.
Okay.
Um, it turns out I'm pretty good at it, like in terms of like studying and understanding the law, like
Mhm.
picking up the law.
Right.
I used to do mock trial. For those of you who don't know, at NIU we have a mock trial team, and I was on it for 1 year. I used to um, be an attorney and a witness with my cousin, and I was good at it, like for me being a
Mhm.
first year. But ultimately, what it came down to was passion. Like it's one of those
Yeah,
things
it is.
where um, going into a career, you kind of you kind of have a sense for whether or not you're going to be good at it. And in this case, I knew that I was going to be good at law, regardless of whatever like path I chose within law, because there's hundreds of careers.
Mhm.
But ultimately, I was just like, you know what, I like this, but I don't love it. Like, I don't want to go to work every day
Right.
not loving
Awesome.
whatever it is that I'm doing. And then that kind of pushed that aside, and then the
Mhm.
music came in, and then the marketing came in. That's one of my other minors. Professional communications and marketing. Those are the other two.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So now where my head is at, I'm looking at Berkeley in Northern California. I'm looking at
Okay.
Temple, and I'm looking at Howard, and I'm trying to get my MBA. That's the goal as of right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm gonna pursue my master's degree in business administration and marketing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
after that degree, I think I'm gonna move out to LA and go to the School of Music to like really
really?
like master like my production skills, like to pick up as much information as I possibly can. Because
Right.
if I graduate from, that school and I'm like I guess what you would deem as a professional like music producer, like there's no telling where that could take me, especially if I put that on a
Right.
resume. And
Definitely.
yeah, like ideally, I'd like to pursue a career like using marketing and using professional communications. I'd like to pursue a
Mhm.
career within music. That's possible.
Yeah,
Um,
totally understandable.
that's why I'm using YouTube now to try to build and like just get as much content out to let people know, hey, there's this new producer around. He's really, really good. Listen to his stuff. And
Right, right,
then
right.
like even now, like I'm, currently in my parents' house, as a broke college student. But when I move out, oh, best
I hear you.
believe I'm gonna get everything that I need for like in terms of equipment,
Mhm.
software, and I'm going to master everything. Everything that I know now about music, in terms of production, I taught myself. For those of you who don't know, um, I picked up the app. I've studied like religiously on like the simplest things, like the construction of melodies, how to manipulate tempos and BPMs, and just recently I figured out how to edit, mix, and master, um, how to um, how to blend, how to make things sound more coherent, make things sound fuller, for lack of a better term, make them sound
Right,
like actual official beats slash songs.
right, which is one
And
of the
over the
things I've been
years,
saying. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Like over the
I
years,
noticed the improvement. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, for sure. I've been, I've been going crazy, man. Like I've been working very, very hard. So YouTube, take this time right now. Go look in the
Links will
the
definitely be
comment
down in
section,
the description. Yep.
a description. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I
it'll
am
definitely be
Brizzy. Go
down there.
ahead and subscribe. Check me out. I'm pretty sure you're gonna love what you hear, man. It's been a journey. And yeah,
Yes,
man,
sir.
help me help myself along this way. Basically.
Definitely, man. That's like I said, I definitely have seen the growth. You begin talking about what you've learned. You kind of speak in a different language for me. I've heard the terms because I am a music guy, but I don't know, exactly how to do exactly what you just said. But I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
tell you from the listening ear and from the content that you have produced. I've definitely been able to tell that you've been studying, that you've been getting better. And that I think that that's a really interesting plan in terms of getting your MBA and then going off to go to school for music. I think that's going to be awesome for you. And I'm not sure if obviously these plans are subject to change, but I think that would be pretty cool. And somebody to also, I know you are talking to them on a decent basis, but getting your MBA, that's something in business and administration. That's something that Dr. Collins did. So you
yeah,
definitely want to go talk to him about doing that if you do decide to continue with that journey, because he will have he definitely wasn't the best student at the start, so he'll have a
yeah.
lot of He'll have a lot of guidance for you in terms of how to finish that up quickly. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's it's interesting that you say that because I think there's a lot of um, people that are rushing to get out of school um, in terms of just being done with the 4 years and getting out. Like for me, I don't know, something about school that I can't really I'm like, I'm all about, I'm a go-getter, but I'm trying to do it myself, or I wanna study under specific classes that I want, and I don't need I don't necessarily feel that I need a degree for somebody
Mm,
to tell me that I'm good at something, like, if I can master whatever it is and then show you, and have a portfolio, which would be my YouTube, that shows you that I'm good at video editing, that shows you that I can put a story together, that shows you, whether it's that I'm good
absolutely.
at video games, whatever it is, um, I feel like that's just the path for me. But there's also, another path that is going to school for the stuff that you love and not just being limited to that 4 years. People are thinking like, oh, I gotta get everything in this 4 years. It's like, no, man,
Mhm.
people go to school till they're 26, 27, and
Yeah.
this is why they become so established in whatever industry they are in is because they have the degrees to back it up and they have it, more important than the degrees is the knowledge. They didn't just get these doctors aren't just in these hospitals with no, knowledge. Like they had to uh, you know, go through these years of school to in order to obtain and be that good and get paid at, the wage that you see. So I think that's important for our generation to see as an example because there's two different sides of it, but I think we're kinda geared towards the just get everything now, part. No no, I'm thinking of? Just I'm missing it, but basically just not, wanting everything now and not being able delayed gratification, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Not being able to, delay that gratification, they want it instant, so but I guess going right back into your social media, man. I noticed you do, like we talked about, you do use social media a lot. Um,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to kind of know your thoughts. I'm gonna leave it pretty open to you, but I want to know your thoughts around social media as a whole. Now, you find it hard to kind of market yourself. You find that people use social media for the right things. Like, what's your take on social media in this current climate of 2021?
That's so interesting that you bring that up because it's like, bro, like
That's a loaded question right there.
it's so much to deconstruct right now. But I feel like, and I really feel like this about the internet in general. But I truly believe that the internet and social media, like on paper, like they're
Mhm.
designed for the right things.
Right.
They're designed to keep everyone interconnected. They're designed to, you know, for people like us, content creators who are
Right.
trying to
Yeah, yeah.
build themselves their own brands. They're
Mhm.
designed for people to network. They're designed for, all these different positive things that are supposed to make life easier for everyone.
Yeah.
But like most things in this life, people have a way of screwing up the things that are originally designed to be positive for society. And it's just
Right.
like, it's, I wish I could say that I was disappointed, but I'm really not surprised. Life has taught me
Yeah.
in a number of ways that like people do people things,
Mhm.
to put it plainly. People do people things. And it's just like social media is one of those people things.
Right.
Like there's no getting around it, bro. And it's just like the different, like here's a very minuscule example. Um the comment section.
Mm.
People say the craziest, most
Off
insane
the
things in the
wall.
comment section that they know that they would never say to the person who posted it or to the celebrity who did whatever into their face. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like
Yeah.
they get there's a level of cowardliness now. People, they hide behind their computers, they hide behind their devices from
Right.
some of the things that they say, and they promote hatred and negativity, and there's enough of that in the world. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, social media has become a platform for promoting hate. Donald Trump is a perfect example of that. We don't even got to get into all of that,
Right.
with him and his whole Twitter shenanigans.
Right.
But like, for example, he had 80 million people following him,
Crazy.
and he's a symbol and a badge for hate. Like literally, he uses social media to promote hate. Like he gets off on that, and it's just it's sad, but it's like
Yeah.
at the same time, it is what it is. Because like I said, people do people things, and it's just
Mhm.
unfortunate what social media has become in that regard. But I do see its benefits too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think my take is just around the same. We talked about social media in the episode I did with Anthony.
mhm,
As the viewers have seen, if you didn't go see that episode, definitely a great episode to go watch. Maybe I'll tag that in the top
for
right hand
sure.
of your screen there. But um I feel like social media, as you were saying, is such a great tool. It's such a great tool to network, to build relationships that you would never build before. I have around 500 subs on my channel, and I have, quote acquaintances or friends, whatever you want to call them, with people in 12 different countries. Like that's just crazy to me. And
That's
the
insane.
ability of that ability was made possible because of social media and the internet and things of that sort. Um, but like you said, the spreading of hate, and it's like at some points, it can there's a boundary, it's like at some
Yeah.
points it can be funny, at some points,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
if you know when you're crossing that line, and people,
Yeah.
people know when they're crossing that line, and they wanna cross it anyway, and we see it a lot when people get confronted, they have nothing to say. It's
Yeah.
like they couldn't even, say their comment out loud, as you were saying, like, they would just say
Yeah.
stuff they never would say in real life.
Never.
So, yeah, the climate of social media is very interesting, but I wanna talk about, in terms of social media, the topic of being the topic of being real on social media. I This is something I battled with for a long time, and I've talked about in probably multiple of my episodes here, but just how do you I'm not even sure how to ask this, but I'd like to know your thoughts in terms of, how do you feel you portray yourself as a real person that's not trying to be fake, not trying to stunt for Instagram. Um, but how do you show other people that that's you? Like, are you comfortable showing um all of who you are on social media, or are you putting up a filter? Like, I know we kind of talked about that on another podcast that, y'all gonna be seeing pretty soon here, but what are your thoughts on that?
Um, as I've gotten older, I think that I've begun to use the trail of social media as more and more almost like my clothing. I use it as a presentation, especially Instagram, since that's like my main platform other than YouTube and Snapchat, if you even want to call it
Right.
that, a platform. But for me, it's all about perception. Um, it's about me showing the world as clearly, authentically, and precisely as I possibly can who I am. I like to portray my personality, not my business,
Right.
but my personality on social media. And like with even like the little things, like my caption choice, the things that I like, the things that I post on my Instagram story, things that I agree with, things that I might
Mhm.
find controversial. Occasionally I'll try to post something that's pretty has a pretty split opinion, and then
Right.
just to try to spark up a conversation, things like that, things that
Mhm.
will demonstrate that, hey, this guy's a thinker. He has
Hmm.
multiple perspectives on different things. He's not just a producer. He does he has an arsenal of different things that he's into and the things, and he has opinions on things, you know?
Right.
And like even something as insignificant as it might seem, like posting pictures, like I don't post often. I haven't posted since like January. I'm actually getting ready to go to New York
Okay.
where you know, I'll be on vacation, so hopefully I can get some nice flicks out there.
Yeah.
But to me, like with pictures, it's all about expression, man. It's all about um in the words of Prince, screams of passion, you know? Just being you. Like I try to capture me at my absolute best moments because well, I think that's a common theme in social media, though, especially on Instagram, because you don't ever see people when they're at the lowest, when they're struggling, or even when
Right.
they're grinding, but you always see people when they're at their best. So,
Yeah.
you know, just kind of going along with that, you know, just focusing on positive portrayal. That's how I use social media. And then of course, like I said earlier, like the presentation, like just when people go to my page, they get a very brief but authentic sense of who I am. Just like when you see somebody walking down the street, you know, what they have on is essentially a piece of who they are. Like, you know?
Right.
So I feel like that's how I look at it though.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That's
I think that's really important. Very, very important.
yeah, that's and I've never, that's definitely a different take. A presentation as like on clothing, man. That's definitely a I don't know, man. Cam might be dropping dimes out here, y'all, you know. I don't know, but
Oh man.
that man, yeah. It's like a minefield, man. Social media is a minefield to navigate around. I I I don't know when I was posting the most on social media, probably anywhere between 7th and ninth grade, probably posting the most on social media. Um,
Mhm.
and then I was like, this is not really for me. Like I haven't, you mentioned posting since January. I probably haven't posted since like 2019. I like my last photo might be, I think it's me of going to like in freshman year of college, going to a football game or whatever. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
and it's two things that kind of contribute to that. It's like number one, I do like privacy. I like how you mentioned, not putting your business out there, but just things that you would like to share and have a conversation with. And then also, pictures, of course. Um,
Mhm,
but and then the number two for that would be um enjoying the moment. Like, I it was a scenario recently where I wanted to film something, I'd done something pretty cool, and I wanted to film it, and I started off filming it, and then I just started to enjoy the activity that I was doing, and it's like, I didn't really wanna film it anymore. It's like, I just wanted to be in the
yeah,
moment, I just wanted to enjoy it with the people that I was enjoying it with, and I just wanted to yeah, just be in the moment, and after that, I really wished I recorded it, so I have to get better at that because I am a content creator. I do wanna put this,
yeah,
content up, for people to see, but, yeah, I really like to live in the moment, and it's just like, I don't really need to post it on social media. I kinda deleted Snap, um, couple months ago, so I don't really use Snap anymore, um, and on Instagram, I really just be using it for promotion for the podcast or videos or
mhm,
whatever. I need to get better at using, it as a platform in terms of my KX Gaming Instagram as well. And then getting my, the Instagram that's for this channel actually up and running. I plan to post like little clips and, things to get you interested. But yeah, like I said, social media is a landfill, but or a minefield. But
mhm.
on the topic of social media, how do you feel that social media has changed this generation's relationships? Now, I know you've been wanting to talk about this topic, and I know I've been saving it. I haven't talked about relationships with anybody else on the podcast. We almost at 20 episodes. So I'm gonna let you kind of take the floor here. Imma let you guide the conversation, and then, I'll play
Bro,
off of what you got to say, man. Go ahead.
relationships, man. Um, man, that right there, that's a big one. Like that's a huge one, man. It's
Yeah.
relationships. I don't even know where to start. I should have like scripted this, but
Gotta go
just
off the
going.
dome, man.
Right,
Yeah.
just going off the dome. I think the first thing that comes to mind would probably be toxicity is made very, very popular
Mm,
and it's put in a positive light. And what I
okay.
mean by that, and I'm sure you've seen these outlandish posts,
Right.
how um women have developed expectations in which it goes like this.
Mhm.
So if you want to take me out on a date, you're gonna have to buy me a $500 Birkin bag, or you're gonna have to cash at me X amount of X amount of
Right,
money, or
right.
you're gonna have to do this, or you're gonna have to do that, and it's just like, ladies, these unrealistic expectations, like, and that's just one, like the whole financial thing.
Right.
That's just one,
Mhm.
and the reason why that's toxic is because, among other things, it's almost like, what are you really like pushing for? What are you going after? Like, do you want to
Right.
develop a connection with the person that you claim to be interested in, or are you just
Mhm.
trying to finesse them in order to get whatever it is that you see that you want out of them? And it's
Right.
and I know I'm talking about the ladies. Ladies, don't come at me. I'm finna get on the fellas too. But it's it's just it's just unfortunate, man. Like social media has inadvertently um separated men and women even more so than they already are.
Right.
Like, another example, out outrageous, absolutely crazy. Like, I've been reading stories, particularly on the Shade Room,
Mhm.
as of late, of men who get rejected
Right,
and
okay.
they absolutely lose their minds, like beating women, cussing them out. This one man I watched in a video, he literally, after he got rejected and tried to cuss out this group of young ladies, he went
Mhm.
back to his car and grabbed a gun and like started shooting it in the air. You could hear the gunfire because the recording was from the girl's perspective, who the guy was approaching, and it's just like,
Mhm.
how do you like like that's what I'm
Where did it
saying.
begin?
Like,
Right.
toxicity is it's popularized. Like, it adds fuel
Mhm.
to the fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like social media has a way, like I said, of inadvertently like promoting that type of culture. And it's like, we're going to get to a point where people are going to stop getting together. People are literally going to be like, you know what?
It's gonna be
I'm
very
done.
hard.
Like the dating scene in our generation is already hard enough, but
Right.
social media makes it that much harder because they see people and their couples pictures, and they're like, oh, for my birthday he got me this, or we're
Right.
doing that, and we're going on a vacation. Like, literally, people our age going on trips to Dubai, and people see that and they're like,
Right.
I wonder if my boyfriend, or I wonder if my girlfriend is gonna take me on a trip. And it's like these expectations, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this, there's just
Social media is not reality, man.
it's perpetrated a very unrealistic perception of reality, like you just said.
Mhm.
It's just like, eventually people are literally going to stop dating. They're going to get so frustrated with people not meeting each other's unrealistic um expectations, and then people are going to just stop. They're going to be so, I guess, turned off, for lack of a better term,
Mhm.
and they're just gonna be like, you know what, let's just go. I'm gonna just go out with my friends. I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just do that, and then people are gonna they're gonna stop. They're just gonna shut it down, and it's unfortunate for for the good young people of our generation. I'll put it like that. For
Right.
people who want to get married, for people who truly want to develop those connections with
Right, an actual relationship.
other
I
like-minded people.
Yeah, I think, going off that toxicity, you see that, even in the initial stages of relationships with, playing games. This whole, "Oh, I can't text you." 5 minutes. I gotta wait an hour. I gotta leave it
Like
on red for 20 hours.
I'm
I'm
saying,
like, yo, I you could play that in ninth grade, but you're 18 years old, you're 20 years old, you're 21 years
yeah,
old. Like, yo, if you're not if you're not texting me back in 5 minutes, like, come on, what are we doing here?
oh
What
yeah,
what are
like
we doing? It
yeah,
don't that's something that I don't mess with. I don't be anybody that's on that. I'm like, yo, it ain't for me, bro. Like,
can't do it,
yo,
bro. I
you gonna
can't,
have to respond to me because if you leave me, dang, I really just hit with my mic, but I hurt a lot. But
man.
if you, bro, you just can't be playing games, and that I think to what you were saying, it's portrayed as the norm. To I don't know what it's supposed to do, but it's just it's supposed to make the relation, them more interested or whatever it is. It's like, yo, how about just being open and honest? Let's try that for a change.
That simple. It's
Let's
literally that
just do
simple.
that. Let's do that. Let's not do something taxing where it's got to be a $3,000 date. Let's do something like we're not gonna act like you're just above going to a regular restaurant, a $40 dinner. Like we're not gonna act like you're above that. Come on now. Like
Right.
if you're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, I guess you gotta find that in a certain person. And that goes for both ways. But
Does,
you
yeah.
can't expect the regular person to be doing that. And like that is you're trying to get your dating advice from millionaires. Do you get other advice from millionaires and what they do on their day-to-day basis? They drive $1,000,000 cars. Are you doing that? So now
Yeah,
you deserve to drive $1,000,000 cars? It just doesn't make sense. How are you trying to relate two different realities? Even
yeah,
if social media is fake, in the actual reality of their day-to-day life is not gonna be the same as yours you know
yeah,
so I think that's one thing in terms of toxicity, but I think it's also made it harder to um find out who's genuine, not just in terms of money, but who actually wants to build a relationship, or they're looking for something for this minute. A lot of people are like, yo, I just want something suitable for now, or I want something. They want certain parts of the relationship without
yeah,
other commitments, and it's like
yeah,
that's something I also don't mess with. It's like, yo, you either want it all or you don't. It's nah, man. I'm not gonna be just this part of the relationship for you because it works for you in this 3 months. Like
yeah.
maybe you
That
can
is
find that person,
so,
that other person that wants to do that with you, but it's like,
yeah.
man, I don't know.
I can't. Like that whole mindset is such a turn off because you don't want to commit, but you claim that you want something long term,
Right,
whatever that might entail. But it is not marriage. We're not talking about marriage. We're just
right.
talking about something that'll
Yeah,
satisfy
God
me
forbid marriage.
for the months of June through November. And it's
Right.
just like we can't even like we're moving further as a generation. We're moving further and further and further away from the concept, from the ideals and the commitments of something like marriage. I know there are
Mm,
people our age who want to get married. You want to get married. I know I want to get married too one day.
right.
But it's just like women in so many different ways have these unrealistic. It's just unreal. Like, it's
Yeah.
just like you wanna take a girl out. You wanna go on a date. You wanna build those bonds. You wanna develop that type of relationship with a woman. And it's just like that can get so difficult to do because she's looking at, well, he's not buying me A, B, C, and D, so why would I even want to build a connection with him? And it's just like that is so minuscule, like that is so insignificant.
Yeah.
And then another issue in and of itself, which kind of coincides with the toxicity, you know, arrangement that we've been talking about. Promiscuity, bro.
Hmm.
I think from
All right now.
like growing into my early manhood, I feel like
Mm,
that is easily the biggest turnoff to me. I don't understand how grown men are attracted to that. And it's just like, bro, there's nothing, there's I don't get the appeal, bro. And it's like people we live in a society that's obsessed with the physical. We
Mhm.
know this. That's just what it is. That's part of one of the
Well, stay after the
activities.
physical. Yeah.
Exactly. That's one of the activities that you were referring to that people don't necessarily want to have, the commitments that come along with that. And
Right.
it's just like it's so unfortunate because for those of you, well, of course you would know this, but to all the viewers, my great grandparents, they just celebrated 71 years of marriage, and I had a long talk with my great grandfather, and he broke down what the difference between a marriage and a relationship was. He broke down what the
Mm,
most difficult parts of marriage was. He told me that realistically speaking, there really isn't a whole such thing as the one. It's a beautiful romantic idea,
mhm.
but ultimately it comes down to your choice. And I'm
Hmm.
kind of getting deeper and deeper into it, but
Right.
social media has has like it's completely, from my perspective, it's completely uprooted and thrown out the entire idea of marriage. Like,
Mhm.
and it's so unfortunate because I know that there are good people like in the world who want to get married. They want the real deal. They want the commitments. They want to build a family. They want to have somebody that they can share their entire life with.
Right.
And to an extent, man, social media has just murdered like the idea of that. And it's unfortunate because a lot of
Yeah.
people see the same things that we do, and it's just like they get sucked into it, and it's just like, bro, I'm never gonna find a man, or I'm never gonna find a woman. And then it's like, you really shouldn't be doing that anyway. We're too young. We should be focusing on ourselves, trying to get,
Right, right, but
all the
that's
ducks
another
in a
thing.
row. But that's another
Yeah.
topic too. That's another.
Yeah. Man,
It's a lot, bro. Like
it's
it's a
so
lot.
much. It's so much. It gets so deep and it's hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like I was saying, intentions. Um, I don't know, man. It's hard to find those intentions, and if it was easier, I think you would see a lot more relationships or marriages today. And because, like you said, there are people that really want to build something, but
Yeah,
there are others that want to build something that's not real. Like they are
yeah,
actively trying to build something that is not real, and that's a crazy thing. Like there's a
yeah,
whole section of people that are actively trying to build things that are not real with other people that, they have no idea what the other person's intentions are. They're just
mhm,
like, "Yo, let me build this. Let me get what I want out of it." And that's what it needs to be. It's a one-sided scenario, and that goes both ways, you know.
yeah,
With the, expecting expectations of men or, even all on the way down to the mistreatment of women. Like it's just, man, that gets deep and it's something that I feel that social media was like we said at the beginning of the podcast, could be a positive light for, making connections with people that you would never have seen before, um, but has taken a negative turn, a negative turn in the dating world and just for relationships in general. So I don't know, man. You'll have to let us know what you all think about this topic in the description. Um, and what's
yeah.
your thoughts
Right.
on the dating realm nowadays with the with social media being a part of that. Um, but going on to our next topic here, in terms of your YouTube, where, I kind of want to get deep into this. Where do you see yourself? I know you had started a little small gaming channel. I don't know if that's something you're still interested in. I know you have your YouTube with your beats on it. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If everything were to pan out pretty okay with your YouTube, where do you see yourself in 5 years um, with that content?
Um. Okay, so I'll put it to you on this wise. I'll start with the music channel. So ideally, I'm aiming for around 250 to 400, maybe even 500,000 subscribers.
Okay.
for my music channel. That's my ultimate goal for that.
Yeah.
And I was actually talking to my mom the other day about like just how lucrative like doing music on YouTube can be. And
Telling me.
yeah, it's insane. So like off of YouTube alone, I crunched some numbers. I could be making anywhere between 100 to $180,000 just
Mhm,
doing beats for YouTube with the
mhm.
monetization and the advertisements, all of that.
Right.
YouTube aside, if people come to me after I've blown up and they're like, "Hey, I'm willing to pay you. Here's this X amount of cash.
Right.
It's gonna be a couple $100s for a beat, or here's a couple thousand for a project, something
Yeah.
simple like that." And if I start gravitating clientele to where I'm constantly doing stuff for other people, if I have 5 artists
Mhm.
and two of those 5 artists want singles, $300 a piece. This is just a random
Yeah, 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 yeah.
guesstimation. $600. The other three want projects. 6 songs each.
Hmm.
6, 12, 18. 18
Right.
songs. That's another $300. I'm set for work for the next. That it might take me around 2-3 months to get
Mhm.
everything done.
Right.
So in a span of 2 or 3 months, in addition to YouTube,
Right.
to
Yeah,
me
yeah.
bringing in that consistent,
That
every time I
income.
drop, that's anywhere between I believe it was $10,000 to $15,000 a month, roughly. And that's
Yeah.
strictly music.
Right.
Doing things for other people as well as, getting
Putting that
monetized on
out.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
Wow.
ultimate goal. If I can get enough people to where I'm getting emails from like different artists who are like, "Yo, can you make me this? Can you make me that?"
For sure.
And then put on the headphones, get busy. That's
Right.
why I'm saying I want to turn this to a career. I want to turn this money and these opportunities into as big of an opportunity that I can create for myself as possible.
Mhm.
I have a master plan that I've neglected to say up until this point, but if I can, with the music side of things on YouTube,
Mhm.
after I graduate from the LA School of Music, after I have accumulated the following that I need on various social media platforms. If I can help it, I'd probably try to start a label. If I mean that's an extremely lofty goal,
Right.
but
Yeah, but I mean,
I
it's
could,
doable.
yeah, I
It's
could
doable.
100%, 100%. And well, and a
Yeah.
couple of the viewers should also know, I'm not going to manipulate or take advantage of any artist for any reason whatsoever. So they don't know this, and of course they wouldn't, but going into it, like there's just so many things that they wouldn't even have to worry about. And then
Yeah.
of course, once we start, you know, growing and gravitating,
Mhm.
more and more people, the label just absolutely explodes. But that's ambient, like that's like super, super far.
Right.
So
Right.
going back to the question, that's pretty much what I want to do with the music side of YouTube.
Okay.
Now you also brought up the gaming side.
Mhm.
Um, I'm actually I plan on making another channel where
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing I guess you could say like episodic type gaming videos
Mhm.
where I'm gonna be doing playthroughs, gaming
Nice.
tutorials. Um, might get back into Destiny. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
you
going with the Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Call of
Yep, yep, yep.
Warzone. Oh yeah, streaming Warzone almost every
Alright.
day. This is after music now. This is like
Right.
years later. So, but yeah,
So
I'm gonna
you
probably take
not
care.
planning to start that until like after you kinda, um, get your music career up and going? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
and yeah, for
Understood.
sure. And the reason why is because I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to be
Oh, yeah.
spread
No, I hear you.
way too thin. Like I'm only one person. I can't possibly think of melodies and beats and constantly uploading on YouTube every
Right.
single day, while also editing, recording and editing videos for Lord knows how many different games that I'm going to be playing, because I'm going to
Right.
be putting on the channel. I'm
Mhm.
trying to go like the Corey Kenshin route, where I can
Yeah.
just play a game, have a good time, make people laugh.
He just hit
And
10,000,000 subs, didn't he?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. Dude,
most definitely.
I was thinking about texting you when he hit 10,000,000. I was like, "Man,
Yeah,
I don't really watch him that much." I've always been, um, on his I've he's always been on my radar,
oh yeah,
and the fact that he is from Michigan. And it's like,
yeah, 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 yeah,
that's crazy. Um,
yeah.
so I'm like, "Hey, bro, I'm next. I'm the next big YouTuber from, from Michigan, yo. Hit me up." But
Yeah, look,
yeah.
for sure, yeah. I think I've always looked at him as like the blueprint, because he's
Mm,
not, obviously he's not toxic. He doesn't use profanity on his channel. He's all about, let's play a game, let's have a good
yeah.
time, let's enjoy this community, the samurai, as he likes to call it.
Mhm.
And to me, as a fellow content creator, that is the example. That is the bar. If he can do the things that he's been able to do solely on positivity, no toxic, controversial nonsense,
Mhm.
just literally, let's have fun, let's enjoy each other,
Right.
and let's let's play games. Let's
Mhm.
let's watch, let's enjoy content together. If he can do that and gain the type of following that he has now, obviously it was years in the making, but
Right.
if he can do that and yield the type of results that he has currently, like, there's no reason why people like you and I can't do it.
Right.
Especially like with our backgrounds, and
Mhm.
just knowing the things that we believe and just how we are as people. There's absolutely no reason why we can't do the same thing. I know he might not ever see this video, but if he does, like, I really want to thank him for that.
Yeah.
I really really want to thank Corey for that, because he definitely inspired me to be, like, on the gaming side of things, like just editing. He really encouraged me to edit. His edits are like hilarious, and they're very very well put together. And
Yeah.
like, to me,
Man, it's funny for
that's
sure.
the goal, man. Like, that's where we can most definitely be.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, I think that person for me was Expert Thief, that I have talked about
Mm,
more,
yeah,
on the channel, but I
yeah,
know
yeah.
you know him.
Hmm.
That person, yeah, he was that person for me that I was like, "Yo, that's kinda what I wanna be." He's just recording what doing what he loves, with these video games. He's not using a whole bunch of profanity. He's not doing, all of these crazy things for views. He's just,
It's about
being
clout.
himself, and
Yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah,
just being himself and playing the game,
yeah.
which I feel is down to earth, which I feel is very real, and I wanted to imitate that, and I just, I want to thank you for the energy, that you bring in terms of that. Like, I have been down on myself because it's difficult when you feel like you're the only one that believes this can happen. Like, it's like you still gotta keep, pushing through. But when you feel that you are the only person that believes you can actually do, and I'm not talking about 10,000,000 subs is a kinda is a lot, you know?
Yeah,
I'm thinking more
yeah.
of that 1,000,000, but even obtaining those ranks, people are like, "It's just impossible." And seeing that you, um, have worked diligently,
Mhm.
without, that huge, massive success, or that, blowing up yet, and continue to, work. I want to thank you for that dedication, because it definitely has inspired me. And I'm sure, the people that watch this podcast, that do go check you out, links down in the description, another reminder, will be inspired as well. Um, but yeah, I love that plan in terms of, doing the whole YouTube. I think 250 to 500,000, is more than feasible, to
Yeah.
obtain. And it is, music is, like we were talking about earlier, it's a rocky road. But I do believe, staying true to it and kind of creating what you want to create, and not necessarily creating the things that you feel are popular, not going on trends, it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that have wanted me, even my own fans, and I don't blame them for this, that want me
Mhm.
to do trends, and especially in gaming or
Yeah.
like, oh, do this trend in your vlog, do this, it's like number one, that's not me. But it's like,
Mhm.
number 2, I know that trend is only gonna see an increase in views in for this period of time, and then that it's not real views. It's just you're
Mhm.
just pulling from random people that aren't really interested in your content. So I'd much rather establish a brand that is truly me and people wanna just watch my content for who I am.
Yeah.
Um, but
Exactly.
yeah, man. That's crazy. We are approaching an hour here on the podcast, so I will go ahead and wrap it up. So we got our cam cheat code, man. As you all know, whenever I have a guest on my podcast, I have them do the cheat code of the week. So Cam, I'm gonna keep the prompt very open for you. What is some advice that you feel that you could give either, producers, up and coming producers, young content creators, or just people in general that are around this age, anywhere between 13 to 25. Um, what do you feel is some advice that you want to share with them that could give them some, I don't know, give them a little bit of an edge in life or whatever it is they're doing?
Um, I guess for that, I'll have to impart to everyone else the exact same wisdom that was imparted unto me. And I'd have to say that as a content creator, and even as a young man or a young woman, um, never lose sight of your passion.
Mm,
That is by far one of the most self-sabotaging things that you could do. As a creator, as as a human being, um, as a citizen in our society, as an individual, period. Like that's one of the worst things that you could do. Don't ever, um, kind of like what you said, give into the trends. Just make sure that you always have tunnel vision in the sense that you're more than locked in on your passion and you stay true to it at all times. Don't let anybody try to take you away from it. Don't let anyone distract you from your vision, from whatever it is that you're trying to create or whatever goal that you have set for yourself.
mhm.
Um, Stay locked in, and of course, stay true to the grind. You can't cheat the grind. That doesn't exist. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, stay true to your passion, no matter what.
got you. Wonderful advice, man. Definitely, it's perfect playing off. I'm pretty sure my last guest was, Dr. Collins, but in
Yeah,
his in his cheat code, him saying, not basically not cheating the grind, that it's you gotta you got to actually lay the bricks of foundation to build that house that that beautiful house that you want. You
got to.
can't, you can't rush the foundation and then have something that looks good on the outside, but don't from the inside it's crumbling, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so just wonderful advice, man. And yeah, I just want to take a second before we do end it out to yeah, thank you for coming on the Cam Chronicles. I know this is kind of last
Absolutely.
minute. I kind of threw you in here. But I appreciate you, making some time in your schedule. Come on. I'm sure the viewers appreciate it and I definitely appreciate it. But for the viewers, one more time, definitely go ahead and give them the handle of your social media one more time.
Instagram, Cam, it's KA underscore with 6 M's. I dragged it out on purpose
Oh, did
because
you?
any mistaken.
All
Yeah.
right, so that link will be down in the description if y'all don't know how to do
Yeah, for sure.
that.
And then of course my YouTube channel, my music channel, I am Brizzy. It's capital I space AM, capital BRIZZY.
Mhm.
And the Twitter is the same as the Instagram, except it has 3 M's instead of 6. And if
Gotcha.
you want my Snapchat, I mean, I guess it's one season. ONE.SZN. But yeah, man.
Gotcha.
Hey, Cam, thank you. Thank you, or KX. I should call you KX.
Are you good? You good?
um, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I've been literally after I get off of work, I come home, man, and I soak up Music content, man. I study, 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 study. That's
I
all I
feel that.
do. That's all I've been doing this summer. Then of course working out. So I thank you
Mhm.
for having me on here for sure. Definitely appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime, my guy. Well, that is
Yeah.
gonna do it for this episode of Cam Chronicles. As always, man, make sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed the episode. Like I've already said, his links will be down in the description if you're interested in anything. Definitely go check him out. Just listen to one song for me. Go to his YouTube, listen to one beat for me. And if you're not interested, all right, but at least you tried. Um, and yeah, definitely let us know. We had some little interesting topics in here. So definitely let us know what you thought about them down below in the comments, and let's continue the conversation because I'm sure we'd definitely respond. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this week's episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.